Sent from Disneyland, history in our hand. So much to say about yesterday and the decades we have spanned. Postcards from the park, this journey will embark. See what has changed and what remains on Sent from Disneyland. Sent from Disneyland.
Welcome to the Sent from Disneyland podcast.
Here age relives fond memories of the past.
If it's your first time joining us, welcome. On this podcast, we'll take a journey into the past and explore Disneyland, Disneyland history, and more, with mementos, snapshots, souvenirs, and postcards sent from Disneyland, from 1955 to the present. Let's start by thanking my patrons from patreon.com. You can join in at any level to support the show and receive snail mail from my trips to Disneyland and from my desk, plus some sneak peeks and bonus content. Special thanks to Random Olive, the first patron to this podcast, and to the rest of the e-ticket patrons, Tania, Eric Daniels, Monica Seitz Vega, Bill Dreffel, Scott Cagle, Russ Romano, Michael and Christina Cross, Angela Reynolds, and Sheila Harry. C-ticket patrons Serious Inquiries Only, Debbie Weinstein, Jennifer Schneep, Grace Coate, Patty Wolin, Ben and Noel Bruning, and Greg Gorley. B-ticket patron Joshua Bell, and to the A-ticket patrons Elise Sharp, Zealot Infinity, Alexis Robles, Angel DeBlock, Daps Magic, and the Beyond the Railroad podcast. I am your host, your post-host Clocky, and today we have 2 postcards sent from Disneyland. The front of our first postcard has a Matterhorn bobsled splashing down at the end of the attraction. To the right, you can see the chalet-styled queue, and in the background you can see the top of the monorail track. On the back it reads, Bobsled. Bobsledding down a snow-capped mountain at Disneyland, guests race in streamlined Matterhorn bobsleds down and around the slopes of the Matterhorn, gliding to a halt at the bottom of a glacier lake as onlookers watch from a colorful Swiss chalet. It's postmarked August 24th, 1976, with a Receipt cancel and a 4-cent black and white Lincoln postage stamp, Scott number 1282. I assume they visit the park on Wednesday, August 23rd, 1967, when park hours were from 9 a.m. to midnight. The weather was a high of 87 and a low of 65. It's addressed to Putnam Volkswagen of Elkhart, Indiana. It reads, Began our day at Disneyland on this. It's good for quite a few screams. Very fast and furious. Ran into our customer Jacob Soderman, waiting in line in the submarine ride. Took all day, 14 hours just to cover the new attractions. New from when I was there before. Maryland. Before we get into some Disneyland history, I looked up Putnam Volkswagen in Elkhart, Indiana. It's now a Honda dealership. Last week, while searching for a widescreen image for the episode artwork, which appears when you watch this podcast on YouTube and possibly other platforms, I found a mailbox which has been removed from the park, and I thought I should include it and other lost mailboxes in my mailbox tour of Disneyland. Walking to what is now the exit of the Mad Tea Party that is closest to the entrance of the Alice in Wonderland attraction, there was a mailbox at this location. It was likely added after the attraction was added. Looking through old photos, we can assume it was at least there from 1962 to 1966. Looking around that area in 1958, when the Alice in Wonderland attraction was added, you could have watched the building of the Matterhorn and enjoyed some food at the Character Foods quick service location. This was one of Fantasyland's first dining options and stayed in Fantasyland until 1981. You could also watch the entrances of 3 Autopias that existed in Fantasyland, the Midget Autopia, the Junior Autopia, and the Fantasyland Autopia. Also, if you look over towards It's a Small World, there is the Le Petit Chalet, which in 1960s was a smaller souvenir stand, but in the same location. Add some flair to your mail by checking out stamps at Enfield Post. You can explore different stamp options on our Etsy site, grab some great deals by following the EP Sunday Sales on Instagram, or create something special and have her design a stamp array for your invitation or celebration. You can head over to EnfieldPost.com and explore all the different vintage postage stamps you can use on your next card or letter. That's ENFIELDPOST on Instagram and EnfieldPost.com for your wedding and vintage postage needs. Enfield Post is the official postage stamp sponsor of the Sent from Disneyland podcast. The front of our next postcard has a CK Holiday pulling into Frontierland Station. You can see the boxcars following the engine, and to the left you can see the water tower, ready to fill water into the train. On the back it reads, Passenger Train at Frontierland Water Tower. The Santa Fe and Disneyland passenger train makes a stop for water in Frontierland as she carries passengers on a scenic journey around the Magic Kingdom. It's postmarked November 1st, 1958, with an Anaheim Pray for Peace cancel and a 3-cent purple Liberty postage stamp, Scott number 1035. I assume they visit the park on Friday, October 31st, 1958, when park hours were from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. The weather was a high of 84 and a low of 53. Park attendance that day was 2,538. It's addressed to Mrs. Frida Wilson of Toledo, Ohio. It reads, "Hi, was on this train this morning. We have had a day. I am so tired and have not seen near all the thing here. Guess we will stay over here tonight as we got here yesterday evening and stay all night and started out this morning for the snow. Leave in the morning. Love, Jane." Moving to a second lost mailbox, we head to Frontierland. Walking to the entrance of what is now New Orleans Square Station, the original Frontierland station had a mailbox on the outside of the entrance building. The Frontierland station was modeled after the train station in the Disney movie So Dear My Heart. The building was moved back sometime between 1961 and 1964. I always find it interesting that even with New Orleans Square opening in 1966, the station remained Frontierland Station until 1996. From the mailbox, you would have been able to watch the Haunted Mansion's facade being built before the move of the station building from the east side of the tracks to the west side of the tracks. You would have also seen the addition of New Orleans Square, around what was just trees, grass, and some benches leading up to the New Orleans Street section of Frontierland. You might have also watched the completion of Tom Sawyer Island, and the rafts going back and forth to the island. My incoming postcard is sponsored by the Art Throwdown. Art Throwdown, or ATD, is a craft hour on Instagram, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern or 6 Pacific. Art Throwdown is a wonderful community of artists who love to share their craft, from creating sticker postcards and coloring techniques to intricate paper cutting and unique crafting. It's always a treat to watch a show and occasionally get some one-of-a-kind postcards from the group. Each host brings something a little different to each show. I'll list some of the regular hosts, or you can follow Russ Romano 2021 on Instagram. The front of my incoming mail is a yellow and white striped envelope with the Going To Guides Castle logo in the upper left and OMG, It's Your Mail Club mail written in blue ink on the lower left corner. It's postmarked February 2nd, 2026 with an Oakland Love picture cancel and a 2-ounce wedding bloom postage stamp, Scott number 5850. It contains the new Going To Guide Gazette, a King Arthur Carousel jingle sticker, a gold foil with pink carousel horse sticker, and a King Arthur Carousel postcard with drawings of the horses Dante, Jingles, Champion, Baby, and Avanti. Thank you so much for the mail, Shannon. It was great to see you a few weeks ago at the Walt Disney Family Museum, and I was excited to join your Patreon group for some fun mail every month. This is the second Patreon I've joined just for some monthly mail. I was honored last week to be contacted by you for your next edition of the Going To Guides Gazette. I'm always happy to help and love a good challenge. I look forward to the next edition to see what you use in the Gazette from my photo and postcard library. This issue has some great history, fun games, and pretty pictures, especially the old photo of Jingles before being painted white. I'm excited to be inspired by this monthly newsletter for my episodes and to get a little more magic in my mailbox every month. And I hope to see a Gazette postcard pack of 12 amazing postcards at the end of this inaugural year. Thanks for listening to Sent from Disneyland. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and tell your friends. It would also help to leave a 5-star rating and comment on whatever podcast platform you use. If you'd like to support the show financially, please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/sentfromdisneyland. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Sent from Disneyland or my website, sentfromdisneyland.com. For questions and comments, send me a postcard addressed to Sent from Disneyland, P.O. Box 44, Hood, California, 95639. This podcast is not affiliated with Disney, the United States Postal Service, or any post office or Disney-related properties. Opinions expressed on this podcast belong to the host and guests of the Sent from Disneyland podcast. This podcast is produced and edited by Clocky McDowell, website designed by Misty McDowell, theme song was written and performed by Noah Sunday Lefkowitz. Take it away, Noah.